Welcome to the District of Kent's Draft 2023 Financial Plan presentation. The aim for this presentation is to provide information on the district's proposal for 2023 and to receive feedback from you regarding the proposed budget. In our session today, I'm going to start with some quick assessment information, then review how the 2023 budget looks by department and the subsequent proposed 2023 property tax increase. I'm going to touch on departmental operating highlights, summarize the 2023 community grants and aid that Council plans to support, draw your attention to the importance of grant funding in Kent's budget, update you on the proposed capital plan, and finally, wrap up with information regarding financial impacts on our property owners. The assessed values for all properties in the district increased to almost $2.25 billion. This represents a 14.08% increase over 2022. It is important to note that increased values do not provide increased revenue to the district. When assessments increase, the tax rates decrease to keep overall tax revenues unchanged. Tax revenues only increase when approved by Council as part of the financial planning process. For general interest, here is the average value for a single-family home and a townhome and how it has changed from 2020 to present. This information is used by the district to help present the property tax impact for an average home. The general operating budget covers 5 functions: general government, protective services, development services, engineering services, and recreation services. The proposed 2023 budget includes $11.2 million to provide these crucial community services. Based on our estimations for non-tax revenues in 2023, and the level of taxation received in 2022, the proposed budget has a funding shortfall of $403,260. This shortfall would need to be funded from an increase in property taxes. To help you understand what is driving this need, the increase has been broken down into 3 areas. With an inflation rate of 6.9% for 2022, the district has seen a significant increase in operating costs. After considering non-tax revenues, it is estimated that an increase of 3.14% will be needed to balance the general budget. Operating costs include things like wages and benefits, electricity, telephone, external contractors, vehicle maintenance and fuel, legal, advertising, and so on. For the RCMP, based on their 2023 cost estimates, there is expected to be a small net increase required to maintain service levels, which will equate to an increase of 0.18%. The last area is a proposed 2% increase to provide more funding to the General Capital Reserve. This reserve is what funds new and replacement community infrastructure such as buildings, roads, sidewalks, parks, trails, fire trucks, public works equipment, etc. To ensure the financial health of our community, while meeting the request for new and/or improved amenities, the proposed additional 2% is being considered for 2023. Overall, if Council were to adopt a 5.32% increase for 2023, the estimated impact to residential assessment would be $12 for every $100,000 of property value. When looking at average single-family and strata values from 2022, this means a $36 increase for property value to $300,000 and a $60 increase for property value to $500,000. When it comes to the various departments within the district, here are some of the operating highlights planned for 2023. In general government, there's going to be a continued focus on efficiencies and keeping policies and records current. This includes building on communication improvements as we work to better connect with you. The Development Services team is here to support those in the community looking to make changes, be it home renovations, property subdivisions, or something in between. For 2023, they will continue this function and look to make better improvements to the district's active transportation plan, housing strategy, zoning bylaw, and agricultural land use inventory. Beyond their busy day-to-day schedule, engineering services focuses on infrastructure, which includes roads, lights, water, sewer, dikes, and drainage. They also plan to make continuous improvements to sidewalks, our extreme weather resiliency, and further develop our asset management planning. In fire rescue services, with several new recruits and a continued transition to the province's new playbook, the focus in 2023 will continue to be all about team training and providing resources to further enhance scenario-based training. In community services, the plan for 2023 is to focus on continuous improvement to Kent's community recreation assets through program and staff development. The team will also continue to fundraise and share the excitement of the new Letsamont Regional Aquatic Center. In both sewer and water, users will see rates increase by 2% as was previously set by Council. This fund generates more dollars to help with the capital reserve and ensure utility infrastructure can be replaced when needed. We have two drainage areas, the Agassiz drainage and the Harrison Mills drainage. While the Agassiz drainage area will have a status quo budget for 2023, it is proposed to have a small acreage levy increase of 73 cents per acre for the Harrison Mills drainage, as this budget is consistently underfunded. As a contribution from general taxation is also tied to the acreage levy, this funding share will also increase. Staff have put together a preliminary plan for drainage maintenance in 2023 that will be finalized in consultation with the Drainage Committee and Council. Council received several applications for community grants in 2023, and after careful consideration has proposed to provide funding to these organizations in the amounts noted. Organizations applying for a grant must provide Council with the financial information confirming their health, information pertaining to the purpose of the funding, and any information regarding grants received in the previous year. The overall budget for grants and aid is $28,000. In a community the size of Kent, funding from other levels of government is very important to ensuring service infrastructure can be provided to the community without having to rely solely on property taxes. Council and management work diligently to search out and secure grant funding. Much success has been realized over the years. Turning the page to capital, the 5-year capital budget includes $49.3 million in community projects across many functional areas. A significant portion of this budget includes the Letsamont Regional Aquatic Center, in addition to the expansion of the Townsite water system, a project, however, solely dependent on receiving grant funding. Projects planned for 2023 include addressing some District Hall building improvements as things reach the end of their life cycle. To improve the district's online mapping services, funds have been set aside to acquire updated orthophotos. The Parks and Recreation team has several initiatives on the 2023 work plan that look to bring improvements to the community. To help residents with outdoor recreation, there is a focus on the trail network and outdoor park services. Some projects are dependent on securing grant funding, however. Funds have been included for the Aquatic Center, with construction planned to start this summer. To ensure the district's fleet is available when called upon, Public Works will see end-of-life for vehicle replacements occur in 2023. They will also continue with improvements at the Cemetery Road site as Council looks ahead to the future use of this property. For roadworks, there are several construction projects scheduled in 2023, along with improvements to sidewalk infrastructure. Thanks to flood recovery funding from the province, the district hopes to begin work on riverbank protection on the Fraser River by the end of McDonald Road. The fire rescue team plans to further develop a new modular training structure that will be a significant regional asset for structure fire and rescue training. And the last part of our general capital plan sets funds aside for studies and plans dedicated to the community's future. The sewer capital plan includes funding for improvements to sewer mains along Agassiz Avenue aimed to help with system flows. Staff also continue to seek funding to secure the addition of a centrifuge at the Agassiz wastewater treatment plant, which will support the biosolids dewatering process. For the water system, the only big item in the 5-year capital plan is to further expand the townsite's water system. Seeing that through to completion will be dependent on a successful grant application. Staff continue to explore every opportunity that this project may fit into. Lastly, amounts are included in the financial plan to handle unexpected costs that may be incurred during the year. This ensures the district can respond as needed. As a wrap-up of my presentation, I wanted to provide you some information regarding your 2022 property taxes to give you a better understanding of what the taxes are collected for and how Kent's taxes are allocated across the district. Of the $7.4 million collected in property taxes, 55% is paid by the residential assessment base. It is interesting to note, though, that residential assessment is 90% of the total assessment in Kent, while only paying 55% of the taxes. Whereas the Class 2, which includes the railways, utility companies, represent only 2% of the assessment, but they pay 25% of the taxes collected. This shows how heavily reliant Kent is on the railways and utility companies. Of the 2,809 paid in taxes for average residential property, a portion went to the province for schools, a portion went to the hospital district, a portion goes to other agencies, and a portion funds police services. The balance of $1,349 is what the district of Kent receives to cover the costs of all the services we have talked about today. This concludes my presentation today regarding the draft 2023-27 financial plan. I hope you have found this information useful in understanding what is proposed for our community. Council welcomes and encourages you to provide feedback, including comments and/or questions regarding the information I have covered today. Staff plan to present this information to Council for their consideration at a special regular meeting scheduled for February 27th at 6 p.m. Comments and feedback received from yourself prior to that meeting will be relayed to Council to help them in the decision-making process.